Wait! Wait! Oh, that's the cameraman. That's the cameraman telling them to wait. Ain't no way, bro. When it comes to DDG, I can say that it's definitely not the first time I've heard problems with people that he employed, like cameramans and stuff like that. Actually, recently, I've seen many videos of DDG talking about how cameramans keep leaving, at least for a couple of months. I've seen it a couple times, and I'm pretty sure some of y'all did too. And yeah, I've been seeing clips of him always saying stuff about cameraman, like cameraman not doing his job correctly and all of that. And yeah, let's see what's about it. If it's the actual cameramans that suck, or DDG might be, or if DDG is actually too, or if DDG is asking too much from these people. Hopefully, he's paying them enough, because DDG, he always talks about money. Y'all know he be standing on money. Hopefully, he be paying these people correctly. All right, let's react to it.
This is gonna be the one time I agree with doo-doo garbage, because this whole cameraman drama seems
Doo-doo garbage. He said doo-doo garbage. Why, bro? You got a problem with DDG?
kind of disingenuous. And as much as I critique DDG, I'm not just this super biased asshole who's gonna always hate on him just because. Y'all gotta understand that streaming and content creation is a business now. It's not 2016, it's not 2012, back when people were doing this solo dolo. Niggas have teams and people have.
Even in 2016, I'm pretty sure it was already a business. Maybe we didn't look at it as a business because we were children, we were younger, but it was definitely a business back there. Here in Portugal, Brazilian influencers back there, bro, they was making money. They was making money. I mean, they probably making more money now, especially with the casino things. But yeah, it was definitely a business for a lot of people already. PewDiePie, bro, PewDiePie was making money back then,
Whole
and I'm pretty sure he still makes money today.
opportunities that they need to make the most of. And in the case of DDG and his cameraman, after careful analysis, I can say that I honestly feel like DDG has a point. If you can't do an easy job while filming one of the most important streaming events in the modern era, you might be tripping. And if you're having trouble
Hold on, let me check on the quality because this shit is looking bad. 1080p. All right.
being a cameraman, you lose all the leverage that you have in your business proposal. But I'm kinda getting ahead of myself, twin. Today, I just wanna explain why I feel like DDG has a point in this drama, and I wanna talk a little bit about business. So if that tea interests you, you might as well come and tap in. Comment for the algorithm. Okay, so to quickly introduce you to the drama in the situation, you have to understand that DDG and his last cameraman part ways. But more specifically, his last cameraman quit. And following his act of quitting, he came out and kind of expressed.
Yeah. Oh, that's his cameraman. I saw, maybe that's the last one, but I saw videos of one cameraman before that left him to become a streamer. I'm pretty sure he's doing way better now though. Because let's say if that cameraman left DDG and he was making, like, let's say DDG was paying that cameraman 3,000 a month. If he gets at least 200 people to watch his streams and he streams regularly, he's gonna be making that or even more.
Some of his grievances and his side of the situation. And I'd be lying if I say it didn't insinuate that the conditions that DDG put him through were bad. And if you're going to insinuate that someone is putting you through bad workplace conditions, you gotta be able to back it up. But first and foremost, I need to show you guys some of the clips that influence him quitting and influence the tension between DDG and his cameraman. And this all goes back to Streamer University, because the crux of the issue is that, number one, this guy was clearly just not built for being a cameraman. He wasn't built for being in this physical environment that included running and chasing around people on campus. And not only that, but he was just struggling on centering DDG.
Yeah, if it was that dude, yeah, he's definitely out of shape. I mean, you don't need to be in perfect shape, but at least just be a little bit lean.
DDG in front of the camera and keeping him as the main focus, being that he is the content creator. But I'm not gonna talk, I'm just gonna show you guys a couple clips that kind of put this into perspective.
Man, they ended my stream, dick. Melting out this bitch. I ain't gonna lie, brother to brother. Sprite. Bro. Never mind, clip gone, never mind. We'll do it later. Chat, this been the most. We gotta have a conversation, brother. Pay attention to me and just my eyes and my fingers. If I'm.
Oh yeah, this guy is mad. You can tell he's mad. Like if it was outside of streaming, like he would definitely be like yelling at him, like, brother, what you doing? And one thing about DDG, definitely doesn't play about his money. I mean, that's one of the things that he gives more value to, in my opinion, as somebody that watched DDG, even here in Portugal. Um, I used to watch DDG a lot when I was in high school, you know, and he definitely, if that's one thing this guy doesn't play about is his money. This nigga would be screaming to this motherfucker if it wasn't live.
Saying something and I'm pointing, that means I want you to look at that person. If I look at them, look at them. If I'm talking to somebody and they start talking, turn that bitch. Oh my God. Go count. Fuck.
See, he working smart though. See how he took a shortcut. He took a shortcut. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't running the same way they was running. He had to take a shortcut. At least you gotta work smart. And then what they say, like, don't work hard, work smarter. This guy is working smarter. Oh, Lee.
My God. Go count. Fuck. Wait.
Whoa, that's the cameraman. That's the cameraman telling them to wait. Ain't no way, bro. I mean, I don't mean to fat shame this guy, but he clearly needs to be in better shape if he wants to be doing something like this.
Wait.
Fuck, bro. Oh my God. Somebody gotta get this dude in the gym for sure.
Wait.
I ain't even trying to make funny of him, but this is just, it's hilarious. I'm sorry. It is fun. It's hilarious.
Who is David? That nigga got a nigga named David.
Okay, so there's a lot to dissect here. Let's just start with the first clip.
Was that supposed to be them making fun of the guy? I don't get it.
Now in the first clip, that is the most clear-cut and dry example of just how this guy is fumbling the bag when it comes to being a cameraman. DDG was trying to set up a clip between him and Reggie and the other guy that was there. I don't really know.
But one thing about DDG is that I don't get. He been doing this for a long ass time, right? He been on the internet for a long time. So this guy can't know, like, okay, this guy is not, he doesn't fit what I need. Like, he's clearly out of shape and he might be behind me when stuff like that happen, when things get physical in a sense, like in the best example. I don't understand how can he make, I mean, these give me a rookie mistake impression. It looks like a rookie mistake, and DDG is a veteran when it comes to this YouTube thing or content creation thing. You know, I mean, streaming, he's not new. I mean, he been doing this for quite a while, he been doing this for a little bit of time already. Um, of course, not as long as the AMP guys and Ludwig's and all of that people, but he been doing it for a while now. For him to not understand that this job doesn't fit with that character, I don't know, man. Seems like a rookie mistake.
I don't really know his name, but that doesn't really matter. But instead of him pointing the camera at DDG, he points the camera.
I mean, this is the type of You know, the type of shit I'm supposed to be doing because I'm a rookie. I got what, 8 videos posted? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I ain't trying to laugh on this guy, bro.
At Funny Mike, who is walking off screen in a sense, because when it comes to streaming, this is basically live action.
Am I the only one who feels like Funny Mike was about to piss? Brother, I've seen this clip a couple of times, and I always think, brother, I thought he was about to piss. You can't tell me this guy is not about to piss, bro. Like, look at him. You can't tell me he's not about to piss, bro. Look, he already putting he already pulling his pants down. Is it pushing his pants down the way correct way to say? I don't know. English is not my first language, but it is what it is. But it looks like he's about to take a piss.
Television. There's whole storyline. There's characters, and when a character is not the focus, why are you pointing the camera at them? And following that little fumble, DDG has to kind of coach them on what to do. And then in the following clip, it's the same sort of rudimentary camera work, along with the fact that this guy just can't keep up with the action that is happening. If you watch my Streamer University videos, I talked about how a lot of this stuff was very youthful, it was very playful, and people were getting very physical. There was a lot of chasing segments, there was a lot of running, there was just a lot of physical activity, and the cameraman could not keep up with that. And I don't really have to explain, but that is a big display of spectacle, and that's good for the clips, that's good for the content. And if you can't get the spectacle on stream, you are actively hurting the content creator's ability to create content, especially as their cameraman. And then the final clip that I put was the fact that Deshae Frost started laughing on the ground because he peeped that DDG was once again trying to coach his cameraman. I shouldn't have to say it, but Streamer University is one of the biggest content creator events of this year, and DDG having to give this guy on the fly corrections is really bad. Like I said at the start, Streamer U is a business, and this is essentially the golden ticket of business opportunities. And if DDG has to constantly correct this guy, how can he properly capitalize off of the opportunity? And I knew it was really bad when Kai Cenat himself said, "Hey, your cameraman is ass."
There's a new cameraman. He got an ass.
Even Kai, like people cannot say it's not the cameraman. Like everybody saying it.
And so when you have the actual
He got an ass.
For real.
And so when you have the actual creator of Streamer University
DDG like, for real? Like he ain't know.
Dean Cenat telling you that your cameraman is ass, that is not a good look. And once again, going back to the whole business side of things, part of business is having leverage, and you lose a lot of leverage when you don't do a good job. You lose a lot of leverage when the creator of the biggest modern day streaming event is telling your employer that you are not good. And I mention this because a lot of the backlash that's going towards DDG is about
Unless this guy loses like 50 plus pounds, yeah, nobody gonna work with him again. At least not in this type of things.
how he isn't paying his cameraman a lot and how he isn't compensating him enough. And to a degree, I definitely see that perspective, but you have to understand that being a cameraman is not that hard of a job. It is a very easy thing to do. It's not like being an editor, which actually takes a lot of time. It's not like a cameraman has to use his own creative energy to produce a product. All he's doing is holding a camera. And when you're fumbling during the biggest streaming event in modern times, you are losing your leverage.
Yeah, it's just a bad look.
But I'm not gonna speak on it too much because I actually want y'all to see the clips first.
To headphones, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, in the middle of nowhere in Arkansas. In my experience being a camera operator,
But DDG got a problem with cameramans because this is what the third or the second cameraman that works with him and then ends up coming to the internet talk shit about him. But this one, like, we don't, ain't nobody can fucking blame DDG on this one. Nigga was trying to coach for free. And you know how coaches be today.
operators are like at the bottom. You know, they treat us like at the bottom. Everything is our fault. I hear from a lot of other camera operators that I was talking to, they also cramped up. Body was giving out due to dehydration. You know, they needed to have a couple minutes to themselves to recharge, you know. All in all, you know, regardless of what may occur at Streamer University, it just didn't work out between me and him. It was mutual. No hard feelings. I got a lot of love for him, and I hope it's mutual.
I just think it's funny how he talked about having a lot of love for DDG, but before any of that, he just says, yeah, being a camera operator, we're just at the very bottom. And my fellow camera operators, my colleagues, my contemporaries, yeah, they just talked about just being treated horribly, and their bodies were given out due to dehydration. Now, granted, if that is happening, that is horrible. But in the case of DDG, I can't say that that is 100% the truth. Not saying that he said that specifically, but when you frame it like that, what are you insinuating? Especially because DDG's own side just says everything on the contrary to this whole being at the bottom narrative that he's saying. But let's just continue.
When you think you're prepared, you can always be more prepared. If you're gonna be a full-time camera operator for a talent, especially of that caliber, be prepared to treat it like the mafia. Nothing comes before.
But you wasn't prepared, bro. You wasn't prepared. Sorry to tell you, you wasn't prepared. Maybe you're not as good as you thought you was, bro. Get better. Improve, get better. If like I don't even understand how that's got to be a rookie mistake or somebody hired this guy for DDG and not directly DDG. Maybe DDG got like an assistant or something because it just doesn't make sense to me. Didn't I'm pretty sure this guy is making more than 3K a month for sure. You paying somebody 3,000 plus bucks? You paying somebody 3,000 or even more? It got to be making at least that. And they don't know how to do their job properly. That is, it's not just a shame for him, but it's like, bro, where did you find this nigga? Real talk. Who got this nigga for you?
For the mafia. Nothing comes before the talent. Your family, your mental, physical health, your errands, what you have.
But you know what? I do believe one thing I believe is that these streamers they probably don't care about this guy's resting. I believe that. You want to know why I believe that? Because I believe most of these streamers never had a 9 to 5, or if they had a 9 to 5, they wasn't there for a long time. And I understand how somebody that didn't have that experience can be very naive to those type of things because they just didn't have the experience. And working for somebody else is not the same as working for yourself. You tend to give 100 times more effort when you're working for yourself. And when there's somebody working for you, you gotta find way to motivate that person. And sometimes money is just it's not just enough. Sometimes money is not enough. People are different, people like different things, people are motivated by different things. And of course everybody likes money, but you know, it wasn't enough for this guy or the opportunity. I'm not saying that DDG that in this case DDG should have pay this guy more or something. I'm just saying like he did a bad job when it comes to hiring him, and that I do believe that a lot of these streamers they be treating these guys bad. I believe that because they don't know what it is to be an employee. You know, I get it. I believe that this guy when he says the majority of cameramans are mad with the current situation when it comes to working to these people. I believe it. Not to demonize these streamers, but to say that they didn't have the work experience and because of that they don't really know how to be a good um leader when it comes to being the boss. That's my opinion. Not saying that you can't be a boss if you wasn't an employee, but I do think that being an employee before being a boss helps you to be a better boss. I strongly believe in that.
To do at the house, talent comes first. You'll get a phone call at 1:30 that they need you at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. and you are obligated to, fulfill that.
I don't mess with doo-doo garbage as much as the next guy, but comparing him to the mafia seems a little crazy to me. Is it just me, or is he putting 10s on 2s? And I say this because you have to understand that you gotta be a little aware, just a little bit. You're working for an influencer. You're not working a normal office 9 to 5. You're not working in these
Yeah, and you're working for one of the biggest guys in this thing. Like, they making way too much money.
standard job industry. So obviously the flexibility goes both ways. You might be a little more free than other people, but you also might be a little more tight than other people. Pause. What I mean is that, for example, he might travel often, but at the cost of traveling often, he needs to stay near the influencer. He needs to stay near the talent. Also, I understand that he has family, but he is being a cameraman for a content creator, a big one at that. And these dudes are typically bachelors. They don't really have any responsibilities that are tying them down. And even if they do have responsibilities, like DDG's child, he is still constantly traveling. I'm not trying to dismiss the fact that he wants to be able to see his family, or if he felt like his schedule was too tight, or if he felt like there wasn't enough breathing room when it came to his job. But you gotta be able to read the room, and you gotta have some level of awareness. Why would you work with an influencer of that size while not being aware of the things that you would have to give up? And I'm gonna come back to this cameraman, but before that, let's just look at some of DDG's response to it, because I think he had a lot of things that kind of put this situation into perspective, at least for me.
Niggas will indirectly try to diss working for me, but niggas was so excited. Like, that shit blowing me, bro. Like, you don't know how much cameraman's paid. Tell him how much you was paid at this point, bro. Like, I don't give a no. Let me put this in y'all brain. No cameraman will ever make as much money as the nigga they're filming.
Now, I know on the surface that seems crazy, and I've seen a lot of people interpret this as DDG isn't taking care of his employees, but he's not even wrong, bro. That's an objective fact. If you are the cameraman, why would you make as much as a person who is on screen? Why would you make as much as the person who built the brand up? That just doesn't make sense. And following this, DDG uses the example of someone working in a fast food restaurant, as in McDonald's, and saying if someone is flipping burgers, why would they make as much as the CEO? Because the CEO got to that higher position. And while he didn't say it the best, I still get the spirit of what he's saying. And all he's saying is that there are positions, there's levels, and the cameraman has a lower position than the talent. And I don't think that's crazy.
Yeah, and it makes sense, bro. If he was filming, if let's say he was filming me, bro, like I wouldn't be paying you. I ain't got no money.
Easy to say, bro, especially because all you're doing is holding a camera and being silent. And before I even sat down to record this video, I talked to some of my friends about this. And being on camera and being the talent, as much as people want to scoff at DDG, that does take a lot of energy. That does take a lot of skill. You have to be entertaining. You have to be sociable. That is much harder than being a silent cameraman who has to follow the talent around. You can't convince me otherwise. But let's continue.
Just because you ain't getting paid $100,000 or whatever the is expecting, that don't mean a nigga spending. Flying across the world, putting niggas in nice ass hotels, Airbnbs, feeding niggas. Boy, I'm a great boss. I feed my cameraman, y'all. All this shit online where we be joking and shit, cameraman don't eat. No, if we go to Steak 48, you think I'm gonna tell my cameraman to go to In-N-Out? No, get a Wagyu, fuck it. I'm rich as hell.
And when I seen this part, this is when I said, okay, DDG really isn't tripping. So keep in mind, all this cameraman has to do is just follow DDG around with the camera and just move it left and right depending on who is talking on screen. He's not only getting paid, but he's having all his traveling expenses covered, he's getting free food, and he's getting his housing expenses covered when he is traveling. And it's not like DDG is just buying him goy slop and feeding him McDonald's or Wendy's or Burger King. He's getting this man steak. That doesn't seem like
He is eating. DDG, give me that job, man. I'll do this content creation things part-time. I work for you. I'm telling you, I will do a better job. I'm in better shape. I can, I can run. I ran 5 kilometers today. Put me in this spot. Pay me how much it was paying him, and I'm telling you, I will do a better job, bro. Just give me an opportunity. Give it to me. I wouldn't waste it, and I'd be grateful for sure. I'd be grateful.
that bad of a deal to me. And mind you, DDG already said
You gotta pay the flight from Portugal to the US, take care of the papers, Trump doesn't want me there for sure, but just pay for it all, and I tell you, I'll do a better job than somebody that looks like this, bro. I'm telling you, I will. No fat shaming or nothing, but You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be a little bit healthy to work for this kind of people, in my opinion.
he can
You have to be ready for the situations, bro.
disclose how much he got paid. And minor spoiler, the cameraman never exposed how much he got paid. So I want you to think about that. Basically, bro, what I'm trying to say is that this doesn't seem like a situation where a cameraman is just being mistreated.
Maybe if he exposed how much he was getting paid, people wouldn't be on his side. I don't want to make it seem like I'm against this guy, but it's hard for me to believe that DDG wouldn't be paying this guy good money. He been doing this for a long time, and he got money. Like a lot of these streamers that you guys think that have more money than this guy DDG, they probably don't. He been making money. He been making money for way too long, and he also streams and makes a lot of money off of that.
He's getting free traveling, free housing while they're traveling, and free food along with a salary. And even though I'm not an influencer crazed man, a lot of people would love to meet their favorite creators. A lot of people would love to meet these famous content creators. So that's a little added bonus for the people who like that. And also, just real quick, I want to get this out the way. His former cameraman Johnny was talking about how $100 are feeling like $20.
We'll do $100 for
like 100 like $20.
While that isn't definitive proof that DDG was just balling out and paying him a lot of money, just for him to say something like that, he doesn't seem like he's living in poverty or living a harsh life. It actually seems like it's on the contrary. It seems like he leveled up since being DDG's cameraman. And look, while I was researching for this video, I found this tweet, and this is not a verified claim, but this guy is claiming that the cameraman was making 6 bands a month plus free food, travel, and hotel. We do know that the free food, traveling, and hotel is real. Now, if this guy is getting paid 6 bands a month, that is $50,000 a year. And on
Yeah, 50, 50. Nah, you don't know how to make math, brother.
paper, that
50?
isn't a lot of money. But here's
Oh,
6
he
bands travel and
put
hotel.
his
We do
like
know that the free food, traveling, and hotel is real. Now, if this guy is getting paid 6 bands a month, that is
nah, my bad, bro. I've been mad. I've been very bad at math, but on this one,
$50,000 a
I can't let this slide.
year. And on paper, that isn't a lot of money. But here's what you have to consider. DDG is covering food, travel, and hotel expenses.
Bro, this is way too much money for the average guy. I'm telling you. Give me that opportunity, DDG. I go there and I'll be grateful, bro. Grateful. Like, you know what? I don't need the free food. I don't need the free food. I need the free travel and hotel because I don't want to be spending my 6K on that. But the free food, I don't need that shit. Just give me the good travel and hotel, nigga. I'll be good. I tell you, I'll do the job correctly, bro. I'm telling you.
He's already handling a chunk of the bills. A lot of people spend a lot of money on food every single month. A lot of people will spend a lot of money on traveling, but he gets all of these things for free. So once again, I just can't sit up here and act like that's a horrible deal, because a lot of people would kill for this type of opportunity. There's people who are literally working fast food and not making any money at all. When I was in Louisiana and I went to Waffle House, I seen a hiring sign and they said that they were paying niggas $3 an hour. But I'm supposed to sit up here and criticize DDG for allegedly paying.
Bro, like, majority of the people in the world don't get paid that much, bro. I don't know. Maybe somebody watching this, you might be from the US. Maybe you're from somewhere else where people make a lot of money by just working regular jobs. Like in the Switzerland, they get paid more. In Luxembourg, they get paid more. I think those are the two highest salaries in Europe. It's Switzerland. Switzerland is like the biggest salary in Europe, just in Europe in general. And then Luxembourg is like the highest salary in Europe. Um, in the European Union, because you have Europe, which is the continent, and then you have the European Union, which is like a bunch of these countries in Europe together, right? Um, so is the biggest. One has the biggest salaries in Europe, which is Switzerland. And the other one has the biggest salary in European Union, which is Luxembourg, and it's not half of that. I mean, just Switzerland. Switzerland is half of that. But I don't know why I told y'all all of this, but all of this to say that, bro, 6K a month is a lot of money, bro. I was paid €5 an hour. I was working at I was working at what's the name? at a restaurant. I was working at a restaurant making €5 an hour, bro. Can you imagine that? €5 an hour. This guy was out here making 6K a month, traveling, free food, all of that, meeting crazy creators. You might, yeah, you might not be the star, bro, but I'm telling you, if you do a good job, I'm pretty sure they gonna know your face. They gonna know who you are. And you're not working with a small creator. You're working with a big creator. It's a big opportunity. I'm telling you, if DDG was paying half of that, he would there would still have there would still be people working for him, paying one third of what he was paying to this guy. 6K? Maybe it wasn't for this. I was gonna say fat guy. Maybe it wasn't for this guy that it took to stream university. But if he paid 6K at one point to a cameraman, bro, whoever you are, bro, hopefully you use that money wisely. Cause bro, 6K ain't no joke. Like that's good money. That's a lot of money. 6K? Like, bro, give it to me. I'm telling you, I will do a good job.
Paying his cameraman 6 bands a month, plus free food, plus free traveling, plus hotel fees covered, just by this
Crazy.
cameraman pointing a camera at him. Y'all niggas crazy. And mind you, the cameraman even said it was enough to
If he was paying this amount to this guy and he still had to teach him,
pay his bills. The only thing he couldn't do was ball out.
Do you pay good? Look, it paid my bills. It paid for gas. It paid for groceries. And it, you know, it allowed me to DoorDash when I needed. It allowed me, you know, to be all right, you know, not be balling and just like all that. Nah. But
I don't know, bro, but part
well, that's what you was expecting, like to be balling off of being a cameraman. I mean, you can with 6K. You can definitely be balling. I mean, not like DDG, not like you're gonna have like a Rolls Royce or something. You're not gonna have none of that, but 6K, bro, that's good. That's enough. That's enough to help family. That's enough to pay bills. That's enough to travel when you want. Like not every month, but you can save so that you can travel. 6K is a lot of money.
of me feels like he's being kind of ungrateful. Like I just told y'all, I seen a hiring sign claiming that these people are making $3 an hour in Louisiana. And this guy is talking about how it pays well, not answering
$3 an hour. It's hard to believe that. I'm not from the USA. I'm not in the USA, but it's just hard for me to believe that. I can't believe people in the USA making $3 an hour. I cannot believe it. I'm sorry, I just can't believe it. I can't. I don't even know what's the minimum wage there. If anybody watching this video knows, please put it in the comments. What's the minimum wage in the USA? If there's somebody from the USA watching me, but $3, $3 an hour. Maybe he meant $13 an hour. Maybe he meant $13 an hour. I could believe that, but $3, that's less than what I was making at that restaurant here in Portugal, five euros an hour. And then my other job, they was paying me like €6 an hour, but at the end of the month, I would have like the tax. I have to pay the taxes, and it would be a lot less. Like it would be like 1,100 euros in my bank account. So just so you know, working a full time job though.
the question on how much it pays, and the biggest criticism is that he just wasn't balling. And y'all know I criticize DDG a lot, but are we seriously gonna act like this is a horrible deal that he had? He wasn't even doing that much. Now honestly, I think I made my case when it comes to this whole
Even if he wasn't paid, bro, I'm pretty sure there's people that would take this opportunity without being paid. If DDG was only paying for this food, I'm pretty sure there's people out here that would take this opportunity. Cause imagine like from from now on, because you've been on this platform that's just so big, you can go work for a creator that's, of course, that's making. I mean, the majority of the creators you go to work with are probably not gonna be as big as DDG, and now you can get there and be like, yeah, I worked with one of the top streamers making millions a month. Maybe not million, but hundreds of thousands a month. And they're gonna be like, okay, now this guy he's gonna tell y'all work with DDG, and people be like, okay, let me see what this guy was doing. Let me see what this guy was doing when he was working with DDG. Oh, it was this? This guy can't run when I need him to? Oh, he created all this drama online? Oh, he didn't appreciate what he did for me. I mean, I ain't trying to ah, it's just a bad look, bro. If I was this guy, I would just let all of this shit die. Cuz if this is if he wants to like cancel the guy, it's just he been doing this for a long time, brother. That's not gonna go well. How many people try to cancel this guy? Where Pretty Boy, what's this name? His name? I remember when I watched DDG when I was younger. There was this guy called Pretty Boy Fredo. I think that's the name, brother. Where is this guy at today? Like, bro, I guess the man is uncancelable. Is that even a word, uncancelable? I'm just making out words now. Whatever. You get the point, hopefully.
This whole DDG cameraman situation. Yes, DDG has a lot of things you could criticize him for, but if he is potentially paying his cameraman $6,000 a month just to follow him around with a camera and providing free food, traveling, and hotel expenses, am I supposed to act like that's a bad deal? Hell no. Especially after I just visited a southern state, a red state, where people are making $3 an hour working in the food industry, especially after being in a red state where the economy is literally garbanzo. Like I said, bro, there are people that would literally die.
I was about to say it. He said there are people there's people who would literally die for the. I was about to say that, bro. People wouldn't let this opportunity slide for sure.
For this opportunity. And that guy's biggest criticism was that like he wasn't balling, or I guess I won't say criticism, but you are literally chilling. And if it's such a big deal, disclose how much you made. Let us all know how much you were making monthly and really back up them bad workplace conditions. You just can't make these weird insinuations that you're going through it and you're struggling when honestly, there are people that are literally going through it. Being a cameraman for a content creator is infinitely better than working fast food or making $3 an hour, and I'm not gonna let anyone tell me otherwise because that is a fact. But that's really all I had to say though. Subscribe for more unsolicited opinions. I love you all. Y'all niggas be blessed. I'm gonna get up out of here.
Yeah, this was a video, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Would you guys let an opportunity like this slide? I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Give it to me. 6K a month? I mean, this guy didn't told us what amount he was doing a month, but I'm pretty sure it's not less than 3K. I don't even know if he worked for DDG for a month because I think that was like a new cameraman. So I don't think he worked for DDG for more than a month. I actually don't think so. But you can't tell me he wasn't making less. I don't believe he was making less than 3,000 a month. I just don't believe. And for a cameraman that you have to, you know, tell him what to do, kind of teach him how to do his job. Nah, bro, that's even too much. 3K. 3K is still too much. Plus, they feed you, pay for your flights and all of that, brother. People would die for this opportunity. But let me know in the comments what you think about this whole situation. Would you let this opportunity slide? Or would you be a good cameraman? Do you think you can make a good job being a cameraman? Comment down below and please press the like button. This is Mario Kelson TV. Please subscribe. We're trying to get to 10K subscribers. Peace out.